Do you want to be evicted or do you want to win again?
I just want my stuff, but
And
I
I
have
will, and
more
Miss McMillan.
rights.
Oh, fantastic. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm all right. Miss McMillan, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Judge.
All right. Now, Mr. Patel, Miss McMillan, I recognize that we've seen each other before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me ask a few questions because my hope is that I can remember the court is an impartial third party. But my hope is that by having you both today and asking you some questions, maybe you both can get where you're aiming to go. Because I know that you both want something. It's a matter of let's see if we can all get there. Okay. So, Mr. Patel, let me ask you a question. Is Miss McMillan physically, I understand she has items, but is she personally, as a human being, is she currently residing in, was it number 105?
Yes.
Is she currently using number 105 for more than just her items?
Yes.
When is the
Before we even press play, understand this. This is not just a simple landlord-tenant dispute. This is a legal chess match where both sides think they're winning, and the judge is the only one trying to explain the rules of the game. On one side, you have a hotel operator insisting he just wants his room back. On the other, a woman claiming she won before, has more rights, and is now locked out of what she believes was her legal home. But here's the twist. The entire case hinges on one technical, yet powerful, distinction. Is she a tenant, or just a lodger? Because that one word changes everything. And what you're about to watch is a masterclass in how legal definitions can completely flip a case upside down. Stay close, because the judge is about to dismantle this situation piece by piece.
last time, to your knowledge, that Miss McMillan came and used the room?
Well, I have no idea, ma'am. I'm working 24 hours. I got to do what I was doing here at the front desk. She's come and gone.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. So
uh,
you don't have personal knowledge. Mr. Patel,
mm,
here's my other question.
mhm.
When's the last time Miss McMillan gave you any money?
The last time she gave me money was on sometimes in September 2025.
Okay. And Mr. Patel, you are a hotel operator.
Yes.
All right. And in September, what room was Miss McMillan paying for?
105. Room number 105.
What kind of key is that?
It's a key, electronics key card key.
And per your terms and conditions, have you changed the key card on her?
No.
Why not?
I mean, I'm sorry, what you said? The key card holder?
Yeah, like is it like you have an electronic key and you charge it to that room, or is it a physical key that is keyed to a deadbolt?
No, it's not a physical key. No, it's
Okay.
just a key, electronic key card where you touch by the lock and it get open.
Miss McMillan, are you still living in Unit 105?
No, ma'am.
Where do you live?
I live in a temporary place right now.
You don't live at Mr. Patel's hotel anymore.
I have not been there since October of 2025.
As I assumed, because I've heard this testimony from both of y'all before. Okay, so not a tenant. Miss McMillan, do you still have items at the hotel? Are
Yes,
you
Your
wanting to
Honor.
get those items?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Patel, are you interested in Miss McMillan coming and getting her stuff?
Yes.
I'm going to give y'all courts information, okay? Because I would love to get you where you want to go, but the way you're both pursuing it is not going to get either of you what you want, okay? So, Miss McMillan is not a tenant. She has not been a tenant in ordinary course as a tenant under the law since at least September, October, November. You are a lodger, Mr. Patel. As a hotel operator, your own receipts tell me that it is a lodging situation. She was paying to be a lodger for 30 days in advance, and then she stopped paying, at which case.
Right away, notice the judge's tone. Neutral. Measured. She's not picking sides, she's trying to narrow the issue. And this is critical. Courts don't operate on emotion. They operate on status. The judge immediately starts clarifying residency. Because whether someone is physically living in a space determines what legal protections apply. If you're a tenant, eviction law applies. If you're not, completely different remedies apply. This is where many disputes collapse. People argue feelings, fairness, past conversations, but the court wants current legal standing. And listen closely, the judge is already signaling she sees a procedural mismatch. She's not asking dramatic questions. She's asking surgical ones.
She's no longer a lodger. You're a hotel operator. She's not a tenant. That's why when you previously tried to evict her, I said you can't because she's not a tenant, right? If what you're trying to do is recover money or get rid of her stuff, there is a different mechanism for that. It's a different kind of civil suit. But an eviction will not get you where you want to go because she's not a tenant. In the same vein, Ms. McMillan, if you want to recover your items, a writ of reentry will not do it for you because you're not a tenant. If you are interested in filing a writ of retrieval, you might be eligible for that. And that is the document that you might want to encourage or look at or talk to legal aid about. Is this something for me, right? Now, that's just legal mechanisms. Mr. Patel, as a hoteler, you have rights and responsibilities for items that are left in the unit once someone leaves the hotel. You can contact any legal attorney you want about what to do with those items. Having said that, there's nothing whatsoever that prevents the two of you from agreeing to have a time where you come together. Ms. McMillan gets her stuff, and then Ms. Patel, you get your room back. But she's not a tenant sufficient for an eviction. And Ms. McMillan, likewise, I cannot give you a reentry because you don't have the right to be there. You both may have some other things you can do about the property that remains, if indeed you want to go and get it.
Excuse me, Judge. I already had a writ of reentry
I know.
in this case, and I already won an eviction. I prevailed in the last one.
Ms. McMillan, I agree. He can't evict you because you're not a tenant. And I gave you a writ of reentry, but once we tried to serve it, we found out it didn't really qualify.
Here's the legal pivot point. The judge clearly says, this is a lodging situation, not a traditional landlord-tenant relationship. That distinction changes everything. A tenant typically has exclusive possession and certain statutory protections. A hotel guest or lodger, very different category. The receipts even support that this was 30 days paid in advance, which looks more like extended stay lodging than a leasehold interest. And this is where both parties are talking past each other. She believes she had an oral lease. He believes he's running a hotel. The judge is telling them, eviction court is the wrong battlefield. And when you file the wrong type of case, even if you feel morally right, legally you lose.
Anymore. And so at this stage, if you filed for a new writ of reentry, I would deny it for the very testimony you just told me. You're not a tenant. A writ of retrieval may very well get you back the same things you want.
We have an oral lease, just like with the Acostas that had an oral lease. I've been paying for over a year and a half, month to month, oral lease, and
Ms. McMillan,
and I had you heard the video of
Ms.
him
McMillan.
saying I'm a tenant. It was a tenant, and there's other people that are tenants there in cottages there.
Ms. McMillan, Mr. Patel, the court has exhausted its information that it provides you. And I will say it again. I don't find any of your testimony to establish for me a lease here. Not anymore. You may have once been a tenant, but you're not. If you're trying to get back your property, there is another method for that. And Mr. Patel, if you're trying to remove her property, please seek legal advice as to how to do that. There is not right now a sufficient landlord-tenant relationship between the two parties. So an eviction is going to fail.
How could I have won an eviction and then been locked out and I prevailed in it, and then now all of a sudden I can't win another eviction? How is that even possible?
You're winning the eviction because you're not a tenant, Ms. McMillan. That's what I'm saying. You keep saying you won the eviction. You were sued to be evicted, and you won because you weren't evicted, and you can't be evicted if you're not a tenant. It's like saying I can't get you divorced if you've never been married. Y'all are not married anymore.
It was because he didn't give a proper notice to vacate. That's the reason why.
Now the emotional argument comes in. She's invoking duration, a year and a half, and consistency of payment. And that's understandable. In everyday life, long-term occupancy feels like tenancy. But courts don't rely on feelings of permanence. They look at structure, documentation, and the nature of the agreement. Was there a lease? Were there tenant rights invoked? Was their landlord control consistent with a hotel model? The judge is saying even if there once was something resembling tenancy, it no longer exists. That's brutal to hear. But legally, status can change. And once rent stops being paid and residency stops happening, the legal framework shifts fast.
That was then. Today, though, right now, Mr.
It's
Patel
the
says,
same situation.
Ms.
He
McMillan,
refiled
Ms.
and he
McMillan,
refiled and he refiled.
do you want to be evicted or do you want to win again?
I just want my stuff, but
Then
I
will-
have more
and
rights.
Miss McMillan, I've even called legal aid on your behalf. Look at, I'm going to say this, writ of reentry will fail because you are not a tenant, as you just testified. There's other versions out
That's
there.
not what I testified to. I testified that I have not been able to stay there, as is my legal right, since October of 2025 because of his violence. I would have stayed there if the owner would have been served, the true owner. I had every right to be there. I prevailed in the eviction. I haven't been able to stay there because I'm afraid of this guy because of his violent
Ms.
behavior.
McMillan, have you paid rent for January or December?
No.
Then
And he
you would
owes
be,
me money.
Ms. McMillan, then you would be evicted today for non-payment. You see, either you're
But
evicted
he
for
didn't even
non-payment.
file the proper notice to vacate.
I actually don't
He's,
see that. It looks like his notice to vacate was fine. I just say it's failed.
can you file a notice, which I haven't even been served, so I haven't even seen it. He doesn't ever serve any of the documents that he gives to you all. And then can he file a notice to vacate when the appeal window is still in the
Yes.
appeal for the last eviction?
Yes,
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Okay.
The landlord can exercise all of their rights. He can appeal and give you notice to vacate all in the same day.
And then he can reuse the same notice to vacate because he dismissed that eviction and he refiled the same day and did not give me another notice to vacate.
He can try, but I've just
no,
found
no.
against him.
Ma'am, I did. She came on December 5th. I did like the way in an envelope, set it up outside and inside the room. She came and picked it up.
As I see it, as y'all have explained it, there are two options for what I can give you. Either Ms. McMillan is a tenant who's not paid her rent and she's evicted today for non-payment, or Mr. Patel doesn't have a tenant because she hasn't resided there in well over a month, and as a result, case is dismissed. Neither of you are happy with that outcome, but that's what I'm left with. And that's the ruling. Court says plaintiff take nothing. I don't find that Ms. McMillan's a tenant, and Ms. McMillan, no other conversation. Please contact legal aid about how to recover your property when you are not a tenant. There is a method for that. There's a form for it, and I am happy to sign it, and you can go and get your stuff from Mr. Patel, who wants you to get your stuff and leave.
Okay.
All parties are excused. Plaintiff takes nothing.
Is it like a
Ms. McMillan, what's that?
like how long?
This is where confusion peaks. She believes she won before, so how can she lose now? The judge clarifies something subtle but powerful. She won because she wasn't a tenant. That's the irony. You can't evict someone who legally isn't classified as a tenant. So winning an eviction case here doesn't prove tenancy, it disproves it. It's like the judge's divorce analogy: you can't divorce someone you're not married to. The court isn't contradicting itself. It's applying the same logic consistently. And this is where viewers should ask themselves, how many cases escalate simply because parties misunderstand what their previous win actually meant?
How long do I have to get it? Did you see like the U-Haul reservation that I had already like planned before he locked me out? I still don't have a key. I'm afraid of this guy. I've asked for protection from this man since I filed the original writ of reentry. Like, you guys aren't protecting me at all. I would have gotten my stuff out. I don't want to have my stuff over the holidays. Like, I mean,
Ms. McMillan, please contact legal aid again. please. Okay, and Mr. Patel, please contact a lawyer, right?
Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh.
It strikes me again and again, you're both just this side of where you need to be, especially when you both seem to be wanting the same thing, which is Ms. McGillen to get her stuff back. All right,
Is he gonna let me get my stuff back safely?
Yes.
Like,
parties can absolutely arrange that on their own, right? I want
well,
everyone
I
to be
have a
safe.
lot of filings that I've asked to be filed, that I've asked to have the court look at, and
And Ms.
one of
McMillan,
them is,
I have reviewed them and I have been as clear as I possibly can with you.
okay, so
Please
you're not gonna
contact.
file to protect me, so you're not gonna like file to make sure that I'm
I will never
protected?
file on your behalf, Ms. McMillan. I'm the judge.
No, I mean find for me to be protected. And how do I get a key? And he's told me that I cannot contact him
Ms.
to
McMillan,
obstruct. So
okay.
like, how do I do
All
all that?
parties are excused. I don't think we're being very constructive. Please contact either Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid or any legal aid services about recovering items when you are no longer a tenant. Because you're not a tenant. That's why you're not evicted. And Mr. Patel, you know,